for this. Okay, so for this paper, once again, you're going to need your leftover striped paper, which we have. We have the cover sheet from that accessory pack. I'm going to use the back, the white, and then two sheets of, whoop, I got three here. Two sheets of your, I believe this is cornflower blue. That's my background. Um, so we're going to start with our background. We're going to cut these down. Um, so you can see I want my stripes to be horizontal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them into the width I need, and then I'm going to tape them together based on welding it at the same point. Because right now my sheet of paper is not long enough to do this. So basically, this is what I want to come out with, that strip of paper that's long enough. And I want that to be, let's quick measure this. I want it to be 11 inches long, which is perfect for my paper. But I realized the paper I have left over does not have that. So we can certainly weld it together. And this is actually welded together. If you see on the back, I have two pieces that I welded together, and then I cut it down to my 11 inches. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this horizontal paper and we're going to cut it so that it is 3 inches wide. So I'm going to take that leftover and I'm going to do two cuts. So I'm going to cut it once at 3 inches. So I have a 3 inch strip. And I'm going to cut another one at 3 inches. Wait, there we go. So now I have two of these, and I will need to weld it together to make one long strip. So I'm going to put some repositionable tape, and that's just little tiny glue dots that I can move around. And then once I leave it and it sets, it will be permanent. So what I want to do is make this so that it's an 11-inch strip. So what I want to do is flip this so that if you see my dots can line up here. I have the two dots. Let me get this closer. The two dot stripes can be here right on top, or I can move it up a little bit more, depending how long I want this to be. I can always cut another strip if I need for this long box. Hopefully this last piece that was left over, I can cut down into two more, and then that can be the strip for the other side of my layout. So what I want to do is put some repositionable tape right on the edge here so that I can move it around. And I'm going to try to line up these dots that are right on the edge. You can see these little dots on the edge, or can go right over here. And it doesn't give me a lot of welding room. It's very slight on the edge. I can certainly flip it and do on the other side so that my checkered part is welded together. So you can certainly do that. But right now I'm going to do it with the dots. I think I have just enough. Weld it together. Okay. Now my strip is definitely longer. It's even longer than 12 inches. So what I want to do is cut it down to be 11 inches long. Let's just see. Yep. So what I'm going to do is put it in my trimmer, put it at 11 inches, 11 inches long once it's welded together. And I'm just going to cut off the top. So it's now 3 inches wide by 11 inches long. And then I'm going to take this white piece of paper and I'm going to cut that to be, let me just double check. 1, 3.5 inches wide. So I am going to just take my white piece of paper. It doesn't matter about the back because that's all, nobody's going to see that. I'm going to cut it to be 3.5 inches wide. 3.5. And I want it to be 11.5 inches long because I want a little bit of the background of the blue, this cornflower blue to show. So I'm just going to cut off a 1/2 inch. And so now I'm just creating my box. I have this white piece of paper that is, and I'm just going to give you the dimensions for those that might have missed it. It is 11.5 by 3.5. And I'm just going to tape my striped box that I created, that striped border. Make sure you get tape on both sides of that welding spot, the spot where you actually glued them together. And I'm just going to put this right over top of my white box. So now this striped box has a border to it. And then I'm just going to add it to the edge of my page. This one is super easy, which is good. And then I make sure that I'm leaving about 1/4 inch of the blue paper all the way around that box. That's why I didn't cut it to 12 inches. And it has just the perfect border to my page. You can add a embellishment to it, but it just makes the perfect border for a 2-page spread. Super simple, super easy.